So, John chapter 20, verses 19 through 29. It says, on the evening of that first day of the week, when the disciples were together with the doors locked for fear of the Jewish leaders, Jesus came and stood among them and said, "Peace be with you." After he said this, he showed them his hands and side. The disciples were overjoyed when they saw the Lord. Again, Jesus said, "Peace be with you. As the Father has sent me, I am sending you." With that, he breathed on them and said, "Receive the Holy Spirit. If you forgive anyone's sins, their sins are forgiven. If you do not forgive them, they are not forgiven." Now Thomas, also known as the twin, one of the 12, was not with the disciples when Jesus came. So the other disciples told him, "We have seen the Lord." But he said to them, "Unless I see the nail marks in his hands and put my finger where the nails were, and put my hand in his side, I will not believe." A week later, his disciples were in the house again, and Thomas was with them. Though the doors were locked, Jesus came and stood among them and said, "Peace be with you." Then he said to Thomas, "Put your finger here. See my hands. Reach out your hand and put it into my side. Stop doubting and believe." Thomas said to him, "My Lord and my God." Then Jesus told him, "Because you have seen me, you have believed. Blessed are those who have not seen and yet have believed." Now, I would venture to guess that even if you may not have heard this particular Bible story before, that you've probably heard that phrase, doubting Thomas. You've heard him talk about, you've probably maybe have heard the story. Now, a doubting Thomas is considered a skeptic, someone who refuses to believe without direct personal experience. Now, it's a reference to the Apostle Thomas, who refused to believe that the resurrected Jesus had appeared to the other disciples until he could see and feel the wounds received by Jesus himself. What is it to doubt? Well, to doubt is to call into question the truth of, or to be uncertain or in doubt about something. To consider something unlikely. Was it really doubt? Now, I don't know about you, but if 10 of your friends were in a room and they were all doing something, they were all hanging out, okay? For whatever reason, you didn't get to be with them at that moment in time. I don't know, maybe you were taking care of a family thing, maybe you had to work, whatever the issue was. Your friends, they're hanging out and you're not there. All right? Then the next time you all get together, you hear about something so wonderful that happened with them while you weren't there. You missed out on something. So, some of us, being human, would get agitated, especially if the story to us seemed kind of out there or really crazy or really fun, something that you missed. Perhaps Thomas wasn't so much a doubter. He was just angry or upset that he missed out on seeing something that they all got to see and experience. Now, I remember one time, and here's what the funny thing is about memories from when we're younger. There was a moment in time when I was a teenager, and for whatever reason, I can't remember, a steam train was going to come through Fremont. I don't remember why. I think it was one of those kind of remembering the past kind of thing. But it was a big thing. People were going to go watch this steam train drive through our town. Well, my mom wanted to go. But me being a teenager, I was like, no. Right? So my mom goes downtown and it grew a crowd, So people went down, they watched this train come through town. Well, this train actually stopped. And when it stopped, there were people on the train, but there was someone on the train that I knew, and that my mom knew. And when they stopped, he asked my mom, he saw my mom, and he said, "Where's Andrea?" And my mom said, "Oh, she didn't want to come," right? Had I been there, I would have gotten on the train, and I would have been able to go for a ride on this train, right? But I wasn't there. So my mom comes home, and she tells me, "Oh, you should have went." They actually stopped, and John was on the train, and he asked where you were. And I remember saying to her, "Nuh-uh. No, that never happened." And she was like, "Yeah, I think John was on the train with his dad. I don't remember why they would have been on the train. But I missed out on an opportunity. I missed out on a story. I could have gotten on if I had gone with her to watch this steam train roll through our town." What do we put our faith in? What do we believe in? What do we trust, right? How many little things throughout the day do we put our trust and faith in? Now, faith is more commonly considered a spiritual concept, right? It's considered as an allegiance, a duty, or loyalty to a person or being. Faith is more commonly used in a spiritual context, while trust, an important concept in relationships. But the two concepts, they often go hand in hand. They often refer to believing in something, right? So he's asking Thomas to believe. How many things do we put our belief or our trust in? Everyday, common, ordinary things. I would say that the majority of us last night set our alarm. Maybe it's an alarm on your cell phone, on your smartphone. Maybe you actually have an alarm clock still. If you're living in the 80s, you probably still have an alarm clock. Just teasing. But I use my cell phone, and every night I check it and make sure my alarm is set for the following morning. Now, I trust that in the morning, my cell phone, that alarm is going to go off, and it's going to wake me up. I trust that when I get up and I put that little K-cup in the Keurig, right, that I put my cup under there and I push a button, and I'm going to get a delicious hot caramel macchiato, right? I trust in that. I trust that when I hit the little fob that I have, that my car will start and warm up so that when I go out, that I can sit down in my car and have it already be warm. I trust that, right? These are little things that we believe in, that we trust in every day. We trusted that this Mevo was going to work straight through today's service. Right? We had a little glitch, but we're back. We have faith, we have trust that it's going to remain on for the remainder of today's service. Now, there's other things that we put our faith in. We have faith in humanity, right? How many of us sometimes leave our house and we'll leave it unlocked? We're running to the store, we're going to go do errands, we're going to do this, and we leave and we jump in our cars and we leave the house unlocked. We drive down the road. We drive down the road without fear, without constant fear that the oncoming traffic isn't going to come over into our lane. We have faith that they're going to stay on their side of the road. How many of us have children who go to school, not currently, but have children who have to ride the bus? You put your faith in that bus driver, someone you probably have never met. We rely on our faith in humanity. We do it every day. How many of us have a favorite team? We put our faith in every season, win or lose, go Pittsburgh Steelers, go Buckeyes, right? Right?
Go H.
I-O. Okay. Right. Our favorite team can continue to lose games and make poor decisions. They have no chance for the playoffs, yet we support them, right? And if you don't believe me, you ask Dax, because he's a Cleveland Browns fan. He has faith. He has faith. We're going to have moments, days, maybe seasons in our lives of doubt. How did Jesus respond to Thomas? He wasn't hard on Thomas for his doubts. Despite his skepticism, Thomas was still loyal to the believers and to Jesus himself. Some people need to doubt before they believe. If doubt leads to questions, and questions lead to answers, and if the answers are accepted, then doubt has done good work. It's when doubt becomes stubbornness, and stubbornness becomes a prideful lifestyle, that doubt harms faith. When you doubt, don't stop there. Let your doubt deepen your faith as you continue to search for the answer. Some people think they would believe in Jesus if they could only see him. If they could just see that sign or that miracle, then they would truly believe. But Jesus says we are blessed if we can believe without seeing. We have all the proof we need in the words of the Bible and the testimony of believers. But still, there are some of us who just want that sign. They can believe and they can trust in that alarm clock or that Keurig, but they can't put their faith in Jesus because they haven't yet seen. The importance of John sharing this particular story is because we're all human and we all have doubts. We all have questions. Now, here is a group of followers. They were friends of Jesus's. Jesus was their teacher. They loved him. They were a family. But did they truly understand what was going to happen? Did they truly believe that he was going to be resurrected? Was there anything that showed Thomas that he was coming back? Had they truly believed, would Judas have betrayed? Would Peter have denied? Would Thomas have doubted? So what was he truly to believe when he hears something so crazy? We've all been that Monday morning, quarterback, right? Where they should have done. We have the Bible. We know the story. They lived it. So perhaps Thomas was just fearful that he had missed out on something. Maybe he was fearful that he would never see the friend, the teacher, the person he loved again. They knew they had lost something great. But Jesus was with them as he is with us now. Even now, he is with you in the form of the Holy Spirit. You can talk to him and you can find his words to you in the pages of the Bible. He can be as real to you and to me and to us as he was to Thomas that day. We all have doubts from time to time. It's a normal part of living the life of faith. What Jesus longs for in this post-resurrection encounter with Thomas is that we all might believe in him by handing over our hearts and our hopes and our lives, that he might bring them to the fullness of joy. Let me say that again. Jesus longs for us to hand over our hearts, our hopes, our lives, so that he may fill us with joy. That's what living an Easter life is all about. That's what Thomas wanted. He just needed to see it, touch it, experience it before he was willing to risk relationship again. He had lost him once. We often allow fear or doubt, anxiety get in the way. Don't let it sit there. Don't let it sit there. Delve into the doubt. Find the questions. Find the answers. Grow deeper in your faith. Just believe.